Yo, what up, podcast? So, bringing you guys another episode of the Smoking Section. I am your host, Big Corpse. Yeah, man. So, I want to clear something up real quick for all my listeners. I do not get paid from this podcast. I know I shout out Safe Port Hueneme here in California. I know I shout them out all the time, but they do not pay me. I am not a brand ambassador. Yeah, so send me some donations. Yeah, but nah, for real though. Welcome back to the show, everybody. If you're new to the show, this is the Smoking Section, where we bring you the hottest topics, because wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And today's topic is, monetizing our hobbies and the things that we love to do. And for the people who might be curious, people who might be a little lost or don't know where to start, just so that you guys know, I want to add some context, and I want to do better about sharing my background and where I came from. This year marks 10 years that I've been living in California, that I moved back to California, and have been dancing here, and have been, honing in on that craft and really giving myself to that craft. In those 10 years, I've done a list of things, training with different teams, training under different, legends of certain styles, and performances and teaching, and, the list goes on. Those aren't the accolades that I enjoy. The accolades that I enjoy is just knowing that I've done things in my life. In 2016, as you guys know, but I'll say again, in 2016, my father passed away. Somebody who I sought a lot of, acceptance from and attention from. And in 2016, when he died, it kind of sent me for a loop. I had really began to know what I wanted to do with myself, but I just didn't know exactly where to start. I knew that I wanted to make clothing. I knew that I wanted to see people with my name on them, and that came from me being a graffiti tagger, right? Going around and spray painting the city and seeing my name the next day as we drove around the town. And having my name, though, on clothing gives me that same rush, but I don't have to worry about somebody slashing my name or painting over it, or covering it up and erasing it. It's something that could live through eternity. And so now, as I've grown through that process of building Corpse Collection, which is now, 3 years in which I have had absolute joy running and building up and still building up. I'm not even done yet with that. I'm still working on it. I still feel like it's still a fetus. You know what I mean? Forgive me, I have a small cold, so if you might hear me sniffle. But now I've gotten into storytelling, and because I know I have a gift for gab, and I know I have the gift of storytelling and being able to, convey messages. I know I have that ability. So now my attention has been turned towards things that will allow me to use those abilities. So things like YouTube, putting things up on SoundCloud, putting things up on podcasts. Yeah. So people still ask, well, how'd you get started? How'd you get in? I won't lie to you guys. Yeah. I was fucking clueless on how to start. I had no idea where to go, and unfortunately these days everybody has this very weird idea of what our abundance is in America and in the world. So I felt like whenever I would ask people who've achieved the things that I want to achieve, because I'm a firm believer in that. Like, if you're going to ask advice on certain things that you want to accomplish, like, go talk to 5 people who've achieved those things. You know what I mean? So I would talk to the 5 people who've achieved those things, and none of them really pointed me in the right directions. No one none of them really gave me good, solid advice. And I feel like it's because they were afraid that I was going to somehow take money out of their pocket, which I don't get that. Because if you guys know me, I give out all my strategies, all my, disciplines and all my views and all my tactics out for free. I am definitely one of those entrepreneurs. I am definitely one of those people who, I could give you the blueprint. I don't think people are going to act on it. 1, 2, by the time I can even formulate a blueprint, I'm already working on the next one, how to make it better. So really what you guys are getting is my outdated stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to try to like knock myself, but it's true. Like, I'm consistently working on my craft. I'm consistently making it better. So by the time I put out a podcast and by the time it's done, edited, whatever, and put out to you guys, like, I've already been working on my craft for 3-4 days and I've already figured out better ways how to do it, So I'm just a student of the game. But to get started, I found a guy by the name of Nate O'Brien, right? His name is Mr. I Make Noise, Nate O'Brien. If you're into Shopify and if you're into, online marketing and, drop shipping, all the stuff, like, if you're into that, you should know his name, especially if you're from California. You would know his name, or have heard about him. I've seen him around. Super good guy, super motivational dude, because I knew his story through dancing, is how I first even heard about him. And then I also heard that he was a businessman and that he, became very successful. And there was a couple guys that he brought up with him. And in that process, I found him. And I started working alongside him and working with his company. I paid a cool chunk of money to learn from him and be guided by him and learn the ins and outs. And that's when I began to learn about Shopify. And that's when I also began to learn about the power of Facebook and the power of Facebook pages and Facebook ads and marketing. That's where I got my foot in the door. From there, I started using a lot of free resources of how to do podcasts, on how to make a YouTube video, on how to edit a YouTube video, how to use iMovie, how to use, all these different things. There's still a lot of things that I need to work on. There's still a lot of things that I need to get better at. But, that's one super free resource for all of you to use is Google, man. Like, trust Google. Trust Yahoo. Trust the search engines, man. They have a lot of answers for us. And everything else from there has just been, consistent practice and repetition. Like, one thing that I got from Tony Robbins, because I like to listen to a lot of his content, and also Will Smith's content, is just being a practitioner. Being a practitioner. Like, I heard that, I heard the story about Eddie Murphy when he got the role for the Nutty Professor, that he locked himself away for a few days so that he could understand these characters. Because when he auditioned, he was going to have to audition all these characters. So to switch from the personalities, So that to me was ultimate practitioner, where, on call, the muscle memory, brain to mouth connection is just instantaneous and it happens. So, people ask me all the time, like, how'd you get started? Where'd you go? Well, I got started because I made the conscious decision that I was going to start. I wasn't going to have no more excuses, no more excuses of why I'm not doing something. And then from there, I used all the resources around me. I asked every single person that I knew who had accomplished the things that I wanted. I asked them how they did it. I got shot down. I've gotten shot down and gotten shot down and got shot down. Don't think that just because you get 50 no's that you won't get 10 yeses, And I sought out the help, and then I did the DIY. Yeah, I did it myself. The do-it-yourself, I did it myself. And I'm not ashamed of it at all, because now I know when I have my team and I have my video editor, I know how long the process takes. I know how long it took for them to take a couple cut pieces of a video, stick them together with a couple transitions and overlays of text and, stickers of my logo. Like, I know how long that takes. I know when a logo should pop up in my video. I know when, I know where it should pop up. I know when it should pop out. I know how much branding to throw on. I know those things. I know those things now, and I understand them a lot better, and it's only going to continue to get better. So for all my people out there, like, you know what I mean? Like, just create, just start, just do. Yeah, like, look in any direction, lift up any rock, turn over any leaf, and there's answers there for you. It's right there. Yeah. If any of you guys want to holla at me personally or have questions, send me a voice message on Anchor, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Twitter, message me on Facebook, email me. All my info's out there. If you need my IG, that's like the easiest one to get in touch with me. It's at Corpse. It's KORPSX. Dude, I answer all questions on there. I'm really good about getting to my DMs. I won't say that I answer them right away. You might have to wait maybe, a few hours to a day or so, but I will get to it. I promise. I answer my DMs, man. So y'all hit me up. Let me know what y'all think. Listen. I'm thankful for all of you guys, right? Taking out the time, listening to this podcast, listening to me. It's not possible without all of you. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have had an amazing day, week, month, year, and I wish an amazing life on all of you, all right? I'll talk to you guys next time. Stay motivated. Bang.